Hello and welcome to the Alumah YouTube channel. My name's Katie, I'm the founder. Thank you for being here. Today, I just want to share some thoughts about what's been coming up for me in the last week. I've had a week of sort of this theme of accepting the parts of me that don't feel perfect. Well, they're not perfect, that feel disappointing. And instead of pushing those away, recognizing that those pieces of me have value and to have compassion for myself. And more than that, what I've been telling myself with the help of my coach and therapist last week is to recognize that I am successful because I'm not perfect. I'm not here trying to present a facade that being a founder of a tech company is easy. I'm not here to put on a facade of how I look. I'm doing YouTube videos very informally, often with no makeup, and like today, in my pajamas. So it is my way of moving through the world because I want to share something that's authentic in the hopes that by sharing my story, there'll be an overlap of your story that you can maybe relate to, be encouraged by, inspired by, or just validated that you have similar feelings as me. This came up because I was talking to my therapist and coach about how I felt immediately after getting off the TEDx stage in Duluth last month. And what maybe would seem like a really exciting moment where you're like, I just did it. I've been practicing and all these things and I just did it. Instead, I walked off the stage and I was like, oh, that is not what I wanted. And I quickly replayed again and again all the things that went wrong in my head. Now, nobody else noticed the majority, if not all of those things. But in my mind's eye, there was this wave of disappointment that it wasn't perfect, that it didn't go as planned. And I think that is just a normal feeling when we build up and we do something that's really hard and meaningful. We want things to go right. But there's always something that goes not planned. So how are we defining right? For me this week, I've been focusing on the fact that I'm successful because I'm not perfect. And when things go wrong, the way of handling things so that things are still going right, maybe I should say that again. When things feel like they're going wrong and not going as planned, I can reframe them and keep them in my mind's eye that things are still going well and going right because it's how I respond. And it's ridiculous to think that things are gonna, that there's gonna be no hiccups. This week we did a major release. It's actually what is the true MVP, minimal viable product of Alumah. And we had the most ridiculous bug that I was joking with the dev team that this will just make a good story. So here I am telling it. Now I've developed, not personally writing code, but designed and managed SaaS products, software applications, and the releases of those now for nearly 10 years. You don't have to tell me that bugs will happen or something that was just sort of missed in the planning of the design will pop up when the app goes live. That happens all the time. So I was well prepared for it. But the bug that came up was in our testing, in our meditation timer. We put in a series of test songs, rock music, really silly songs. And I have the ability to swap out these songs through an admin portal. And so it wasn't something I could test. Well, if you look at Alumah right now, you might see those rock songs in our meditation timer. It says something like meditate to some soothing sounds and then you get heavy metal. It's really ridiculous. But it was just a mistake. And so it's been in Alumah for 3 days. I've been trying to figure out how do I promote the app while have this really kind of awkward meditation timer in. And there's a lot to come with our meditation timer because I'm working with a composer. So we're gonna have some unique, ambient, beautiful meditation sounds coming. But what will hopefully happen later today is that timer is going to swap out to 3 sounds that are just foundational to get us to what we call the MVP, the minimal viable product. Now, I could have handled that in a lot of ways. I mean, it was like, oh, how can we fix this, right, with this bug? This isn't really on brand for Alumah. On the other hand, I didn't want this project with this development team to end on a bad note. They've been phenomenal to work with. They, I'm sure, were more frustrated than me with the project, with the bug sneaking in, because they felt probably responsible, and I know they care. And I'm speaking for them because I don't know this for sure. But I didn't want one silly mistake to change the feeling of the whole project. That's not what it is about. And I've never worked with such a collaborative, thoughtful dev team. And I'm so grateful for them. It is maybe Alumah will be successful because of how we embrace those mistakes as a company. Because people need to have the ability to show up as full humans in order to do creative, meaningful work. And as individuals, the same is true. If we focus on wearing costumes and masks and putting up a facade, we lose our authenticity, we lose our connection to ourselves, and what we put out in the world is hard to connect with because we're not connected with ourselves. So this week, what I've been focused on is connecting with myself in my entirety, embracing the pieces that frustrate me, recognizing they have things to teach me, and having compassion for myself. And in doing so, I hope that when I move in the world, that I'm able to connect with others, because we should all have permission to be our full selves. And none of us are perfect. Nothing goes as planned. And that's part of the adventure of life. So thank you for joining me today. And I'll be posting again later this week. Hopefully be able to report that the foundational meditation timer in Alumah is live. But maybe you'll get a glimpse of this bug if you download and take a look at the app right now. I hope you have a wonderful day.